now. I was in these streets. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Merry Christmas Eve to all of y'all tonight. Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve. I hope everybody's having a blessed Christmas Eve, enjoying their family and their kids. Hopefully, y'all done got their kids what they wanted, so everybody will be happy. I hope everybody having a great time tonight, and those that aren't doing anything, come on in the room. We got some stuff to talk about. We got some updates in the case, y'all. I know it's Christmas Eve. Everybody don't celebrate Christmas, though, so I ain't got nothing to do on Christmas. My family don't do Christmas, so I'm up in the room. Merry Christmas, baby. I got some updates for y'all tonight. Y'all get y'all teacups ready. Hopefully it's brewing. It's hot. Y'all know they say I'm a drunk, so I got my other cup ready. Hello, somebody. Yes, Lord. We're going to discuss some things in the case. Oh, it's Christmas. Oh, wow. I'm late then. Well, happy birthday, Jesus. Y'all, come on up in here, y'all. Come on in the room. We got some things to discuss. We got some updates in the case. I don't know if y'all been watching, if y'all been paying attention. But it's some stuff that didn't hit the flow, y'all, okay? There's some stuff that didn't hit the flow, didn't hit the ceiling. I don't know, then bounced off and went hayward, okay? So if y'all ain't doing nothing this Christmas, y'all might as well come on in the room. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm ready. Okay? We might as well talk about Tameka first and get her out the way. We might as well go ahead and talk about Tameka and Solomon. We're going to go ahead and get them two out the way. So let me give y'all a recap already of what didn't happen this week. So Monday we was in court for Solomon Gaston to have a change of plea hearing. He decided he was not going to take the 30 years that was offered to him as a plea deal. He turned down the plea deal. He decided to go to trial. The trial will begin January 5th with jury selection. Then we will have the trial start January 7th. We got a first timer in the room. Come on up in here. So, January 7th will be his trial. His fate is going to lie on the hands of a juror. I don't know why he did that, but that's what he decided to do. So, he could have came home at the right age around, 49, 50? He would have been still. So, he decided to turn that down. So, we'll see him at trial. I won't be able to record his trial, but we will be at trial. So, we're going to get things handled one way or another so we can get that video from the courtroom because we know they do end up on YT. And I'm going to need a copy of it, okay? Hey, baby, how you doing? Merry Christmas. So, we done got Solomon on about the way. He done turned down the deal. If you didn't see the clip, go back and watch the live because at the end of court, they kind of showed out up in there. It was a mess. It was a mess, y'all. It was a mess. I don't even know if they know that might hinder some more sentencing for this boy. You might be to get this boy some more time because they didn't know how to act in the courtroom. Okay? How you doing, honey? But this is what's going on in the case so far. We getting ready to talk about Miss Tameka. She went to court also Monday afternoon. She went to court. So we're going to talk about her. Tameka Montgomery, a.k.a. Sheffey. She do got an a.k.a. on here, y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and say a.k.a. Sheffey. So, If you don't know, Tameka was originally charged with tampering with evidence. I think it was one count tampering with evidence. And she had obstruction of justice. Let me see how many counts. It was a total of 9 counts, I believe. Let's get back to it back here. It's to the back. Okay, it's to the back. Here we go. Count 1, Tameka R. Montgomery, a.k.a. Tameka Brunswick Shembey, on or about the 7th day of June 25th. This is the tampering with evidence. This was a felony in the 3rd degree. She had a second count. Obstruction of justice. That was a felony in the 3rd degree. She had a third count of obstruction of justice. This is where, let me read a little bit out of each count. Count 1, she did alter, destroy, conceal, or remove any records, documents, or things to wit, a white Chrysler 300 with the purpose to impair its value, ability as evidence in such proceedings or investigation. That's how she got the charge of tampering with evidence, was behind the white Chrysler. We could talk about all this now since, things have changed. So, on the second count, she got the obstruction of justice. That was for, as part of the continuing course of criminal conduct in Lake County, Cuyahoga County, and or Portage County, State of Ohio, with the purpose to hinder the discovery, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, punishment of others for a crime, or to assist another to benefit from the commission of a crime, harbor or conceal avian gains. That's how she got the obstruction right there in count 2. Count 3, she got another obstruction. Pretty much the same charge as count 2, but she was harboring and hiding and concealing Aviante Atterberry. So she had another, she was concealing Aviante Atterberry, the crime by which a person aided in aggravated murder, or a felony of the 1st or 2nd degree. That's how she got the obstruction of justice, which is a felony of a 3rd degree, and count 3. Count 4. This is where she did the same thing in 2 and 3, where she aided and abetted and tried to conceal or hinder or harbor Roberta gangs. The crime committed by the person aided is aggravated murder, or a felony of the 1st or 2nd degree. That's how she got the other obstruction of justice, another felony of the 3rd degree. We on count 4 now. That was count 4. Count 5, she with the purpose to hinder the discovery, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, and punishment of another for a crime, or to assist another to benefit from the commission of a crime, did provide avian gains with money, transportation, a weapon, a disguise, or other means of avoiding discovery or apprehension. The crime committed by the person aided is aggravated murder, or a felony of the 1st or 2nd degree. That's how she got the 5th obstruction of justice. Well, let's go. You with the shits? Let's go with the shits then. Let's go. Let's talk about it then, Bentley. Let's talk about it. Okay, we on count 6 now. I'm glad you in the room. Anybody else want to come on in the room? Come on in the room. Hey, Joshua, baby, we up here. We on count 6 now. We on this murder case, baby. We on count 6. This is the Wyllyam Sheffey murder case, in case y'all just coming in here. This happened back in June, right here in Painesville, Ohio. Some of y'all might not know, we on count 6 with Tameka Montgomery. Okay, on about June 7th, she did hinder the discovery, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of another of a crime to assist the benefit from the commission of the crime, did provide Aviante Atterberry with money, transportation, a weapon, a disguise, other means of avoiding discovery. That's how she got the 6th obstruction of justice, which was another felony of the 3rd degree. Now we on the count 7 of Tameka. We on Tameka still. We on count 7. Anybody got any questions, let me know. We on count 7. She did provide aid in the bed, transportation, money, weapon, disguise, other means of avoiding discovery or apprehension to a crime committed by a person aided in aggravated murder, murder, or a felony of a 1st degree or 2nd degree. This is where she provided Roberta Gaines. So that was her 7th count and her 6th obstruction of justice. Count 8. She, wow, on or about June 7th, 2025, as a part of a continuing course criminal conduct in Lake County and Geauga County. Now she moved over to another county with the purpose to hinder the discovery, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, punishment of another for a crime, or to assist another to benefit from the commission of a crime, did destroy or conceal physical evidence of a crime or act, or induce any person from withholding testimony, information, or to elude legal process him to testify or supply evidence. The criminal offense committed by a person that is aided is aggravated murder, murder, or a felony of a 1st degree or a 2nd. That was the 8th count and the 7th obstruction of justice. We on to count 9. Count 9, y'all. On June 7th, 2025, she did, in continuing course of the criminal conduct in Lake County and Geauga County, state of Ohio, with the purpose to hinder the discovery, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of another for a crime, or to assist another to benefit from the commission of a crime, did communicate false information to another person, to wit, Leanne Mortini and or Dino Martini, and or Triple A Towing Services or Brandon Cohen. This was for, she aided in aggravated murder, murder, a felony of the 1st or the 2nd degree. This is another obstruction of justice, okay? She had a total of 9 counts. So when she went to court Monday afternoon at 2:30 at the Common Pleas Court in front of Judge Ripple, they came to her with a plea deal, and she turned them down, y'all. They was going to give her, they wanted her to plead guilty to counts 2, 4, and 6, I believe it was. It was 2, 4, and 6, I believe. They wanted her to plead guilty to those 3 counts. She decided to turn them down. She turned them down. She was going to take her chance with a jury. She was going to take her chance with a jury with all this evidence right here that we can now discuss. She has at least a 5-page discovery. She got a 5-page discovery. of interviews. They done blacked out some of the names, y'all. They done blacked out some of the names right here. I don't want y'all to think I'm skipping nothing. They done blacked out some of the names, but I'm going to read what they got right here. They got calls from Markel in prison. They got audio files. They got a statement from Tameka on 10/24/25. They got criminal history leads on Lakeisha Jackson. Criminal history leads on Lakeisha Jackson. And criminal history leads on Roberta Gaines. And then they had another call. They were talking to people in prison like they was next door. They got Berta Keisha's record and stuff. They got jail calls from Aviante on 9/2/25 to 11/7/25. They got the calls of Avion, Roberta, Tameka, Xavier, and Solomon. They got a 10/23 receipt from the laboratory. They got crime gun intelligence reports. They got Aviante Atterberry's DNA. They got lab reports from North St. Clair. They got lab reports from 888 North St. Clair. They got phone records from AT&T for Chrysler Malibu. They got phone records from Verizon Wireless for Avion Gaines. They got Lakeisha Jackson's correct phone number. It says right here, the correct phone number. They got Solomon Gaston's 2 phone numbers. They got the Cleveland Heights police report. Damn, they went to Cleveland Heights too, y'all. They went to Cleveland Heights, y'all. This crazy. They got the Cleveland police reports. They got Leanne Martini's text messages. They got PPD reports. They got Ring video camera from Railroad Street. They got Will's phone was extracted. They got his phone. They got Gaston's iCloud. Hold on, y'all. We still got some more to go. They got the search warrant for the storage. They got the iPhone search warrant. They got the iPhone search warrant for Lakeisha Gaines. They got the Malibu warrant for the Chevy Malibu. They got the warrant for the Chrysler 300. They got Will's iCloud. They got Apple records for Solomon's iCloud. They got Apple records for his Gmail at DayWaySolo1. They got Apple responses for Sheffey's password request. They got Snapchat responses. Y'all talk about Snapchat. Soon as you post, they be deleted. They got Snapchat responses from Tyree. They got Ring responses from Stanford Street and Ravenna. They got subpoenas for Shelby. They got subpoenas for Stanford and Ravenna. They got a video file for a no bond hearing. They got Roberta Gaines' Ring camera. They got, hold on, y'all. We got some more. What else they got? They must have found something in the storage. They got the storage on here about 4 times. They got Keisha's other phone, the iPhone. They got the Chevy Malibu dash cam. I know they wasn't that stupid. They got the Malibu dash cam. I know they wasn't that damn dumb. I know you telling a lie. They got Westlake social media. They got Will's phone records. Evidence of paperwork reports. Y'all. Oh, Melissa, what's going on? What you got to say? We got Bentley on the line. What you got to say? Well, we need to know while I'm going through this next paperwork. Hey, baby. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. What you got? What can you add to this that you know in this part right here? Because now Tameka, Monday she went to court at 2:30. She turned down the plea agreement of pleading guilty to counts 2, 4, and I believe it was 6. She is facing 36 months on them charges, on each charge. So 2 hours later, about 4:30, right as the court was closing, she returned back to the courtroom and decided to take the plea. So, Tameka retracted her story and she entered a guilty plea. For those of y'all that don't know, 2 hours later, right before the courts closed, nobody was there that I know of. Nobody made it that I know of. I know I wasn't there. So I hope that we can get that video off of YT here shortly. So she came back, she opted out, and took the guilty plea. So there's all kinds of reports in here on how they tried to stop all the evidence. They tried to have the Ring cameras thrown out. They tried to make sure the Ring cameras was an accessibility of evidence if it could be entered in the evidence. That was the Ring camera over there on Railroad and on Rockwood. Let's see what Bentley, you got, what you say, Melissa? So, it is within the case, defendant Tameka R. Montgomery is charged with 9-count indictment with tampering with evidence and multiple counts of obstruction of justice as a result of the murder of Wyllyam James Sheffey Jr. And the event took place on June 7, 2025. As a result of prior cases and investigation, the Painesville Police Department was familiar with the suspect group of individuals, as well as their associates. Similarly, Painesville Police Department was familiar with several of the named victims, as well as their associates. As a result, the Painesville Police Department had the contact numbers and the social media handles for a number of individuals involved in the case. They already knew, y'all. They already knew. Further, as part of their continued investigation in the matter, Painesville Police Department learned additional phone numbers and social media account details associated with the suspect group, associates of the suspect, and the victims. Throughout the course of their investigation, the Painesville police learned that verified relevant Ring accounts serviced by Ring.com LLC. Subpoenaed and or search warrant for account records were issued and served for the below listed accounts. Ring accounts for Roberta Gaines, co-defendant, Railroad Street. They was trying to argue that the Ring cameras wasn't authentic, like they shouldn't be allowed to be used. But they had a whole little case file on it where they got it through. You already know Lake County got it through. They established authenticity. The records provided by the state is sufficient. So they're going to be using them cameras. They also did the same thing for AT&T. They was trying to stop this case at all means, y'all. At all means. Thank you for the stars. I appreciate it. Based on the foregoing reasons, the state of Ohio respectfully requests that the Honorable Court grant the state motions to determine admissibility of evidence without a hearing. Basically, we don't need no hearing to say that this Ring camera done told the truth. That's what they were saying. That's what they wanted. So, hold on. Let's see what else we got real quick we can discuss real quick. Hold on. They do a lot of repeating. Subpoenas and search warrants for accounts detailed, including but not limited to subscribers' information, call detail history, SMS, MMS details, location data were issued and served for the below listed accounts. Solomon Gaston, defendant. Xavier Jackson, charged, co-defendant. Roberta Gaines, charged, co-defendant. Lakeisha Jackson, charged, co-defendant. Aviante Gaines, charged, co-defendant. Amir Gaston, defendant's brother and known associate of defendant. Tyshawn Vance, known associate of defendants. Leitra Smith, mother of 2 defendants, grandmother of 3 defendants, were gathered at her home on June 7th. Wyllyam James Sheffey, victim. Verizon responded with the subpoena. They tried to argue that they couldn't use Verizon records, but they lost on that one too. We'll holler at you. Boy, them phones is some mean things right there. Them phones is mean right there, boy. The records provided are official and period. The truth speaks out loud. Definitely got it right here in black and white. So they concluded that based on the foregoing reasons, the state of Ohio, they granted the accessibility of the Verizon records and the Ring records. Okay. Let's fast forward to Monday, where she went back in 2 hours later and took the plea. She went back in. She said, I, Tameka Montgomery, the defendant of the above captioned case, hereby state my counsel has explained to me the facts and circumstances surrounding my plea, and the court and my counsel have informed me of the change against me and the penalty provided by the law for the change. Prior to signing this written plea of guilty, the court has personally addressed and explained to me that I have the following constitutional rights I would waive by pleading guilty. Y'all know what she done waived. At trial, I have the right I have the right not to take the witness stand and have no comment if I decide not to testify. Y'all think she gonna testify? You think she gonna get on the stand? What y'all think? Let me know. I hereby state that I understand the rights and the privileges and the possible consequence of a guilty plea. I hereby waive and reject all these rights, voluntarily pleading guilty on my own free will. I understand that this written plea of guilty constitutes any omission which may be used against me at a later trial. By pleading guilty, I admit committing the offense and will tell the judge the facts surrounding my guilt. I am not under any influence of drugs or alcohol, and I have not taken any drugs or alcohol in a 48-hour period preceding this hearing. My attorney has explained to me my rights and appeal a maximum sentence and other limited appellate rights and that any other appeal may be filed within 30 days of the court's entry. I now withdraw my former not guilty plea and enter a plea of guilty to the following offenses: 1 count of tampering with evidence, RC Section Code 2921.2A1, a felony of the 3rd degree. 2 counts of obstruction of justice, Section Code 2921.32A1, a felony of the 3rd degree. She's looking at 36 months. She's looking at 36 months to 72 months. And she's looking at a mandatory fine of $10,000 on the tampering with evidence. And she's looking at 36 months to 72 months on the obstruction of justice. And she's looking at another fine of $10,000. She's looking at the maximum prison term would be 72 months, 6 years. And the maximum fine is $20,000. She will have a mandatory 2-year post-release control. Violation of post-release control is a felony offense, and she may be prosecuted and brought back for her time. We all know that. She has signed this. But right here is circled that she does not face a mandatory prison term. So we shall see what the PSI reveals. What y'all think? She go for sentencing Monday, February 2nd at 9 a.m. February 2nd at 9 a.m. she go for sentencing. What y'all think? What's going on, YT? What y'all think over there? I know it's Christmas and all, y'all. Let's talk about it. Y'all done? Y'all want to keep going? Because the other part of the tea is Solomon's been moved to Geauga County Jail Safety Center. And the word is for his own safety. And I ain't understanding, like, how is it for his own safety if everybody is separated? So we got that aspect of the tea. I'll take a sip on that. And then I got word tonight that Tameka has checked in the PC. Y'all know what PC is. Hello, somebody. What is going on up there at that county jail? We got one move to PC to another county jail, and we got another one that then checked into the county jail, that then checked in the PC. PC is protective custody. We got another inmate. One of the mothers had to be rushed over to the ER over at Tri-Point. They say it's suicide. PC is protective custody. Protective custody. You're being protected. We got one that was moved to Geauga County Jail. And we got one that checked in today. And we got one that went to the emergency room. And we got somebody that was up at the jail acting a fool, jumping on the tables and stomping around. So, somebody is trying to take themselves out. So that's the word. I don't want to be, reporting false news. But hey, what I noticed, it came to me. It came to me. It came to me. You know what I'm saying? Came to me, y'all. That's all I can say is. They got that HIPAA law and stuff, so I don't even know if I could say the name that went to the hospital, with the HIPAA and all that. But yeah, one of them that went to the hospital, and they might be on the watch. You feel me? We know mental illness is at an all-time high right now. So we're going, okay. They up there going through. They falling apart right now. You understand? They falling apart. Now we can go on over here to this train wreck of a case that happened yesterday. We can move on. Y'all want to move on, or y'all got some food to cook or something to do? Bentley, you got something to say? You know something about the case? Yeah, I don't want to say, because I don't know. I don't want to say the dame that went to the hospital just yet. I think that's the road they going for, y'all. I think they want to play like they about to, check in and have to do something to themselves. So, now, the murder 7 is falling apart. They falling apart, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's going to stay solid, who's going to stand 10 toes down. But they probably should have checked in when they first went in. They probably should have went the insanity route. It might be too late now. Be playing the insanity route. We already know one inmate is insane because he turned down a 30-year deal. Solomon Gaston turned down a 30-year deal and now had to be moved to PC. All the way in Geauga. I don't know what's going on. Why do they got to protect this boy? Who's after him? That's what I want to know. I thought they was all separated. They ain't together up there at the jail. They ain't together. Y'all want to move on? We got another one we could talk about. Well, we got somebody right here that to put it out there that say it was Keisha at the hospital. I'll say it. I know that's right. She don't mind saying it. She said it. Tell him, Bentley. What was she at the hospital for? What was she at the hospital for, Bentley? What was she up there for? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy birthday, Jesus. Because they should be calling you right now. They should be on their bending knees, calling out your name. Anybody know what she was at the hospital for? Thank you for the stars. Thank you for the stars. Uh-oh, we got an inmate watching. Merry Christmas. What was she in there for, Bentley? Oh, she definitely built different. She definitely built different. She definitely built different. We can talk. We got time. We got time. I know y'all got to get to the kids. It's Christmas, but we got one more we can talk about if y'all got time. Don't nobody really know what she was at the hospital for. Somebody up above said mental illness, attempted suicide. You know they ain't gonna tell us that. That's that HIPAA. We might not never find that one out. But being built different, that definitely could be the reason, though, Bentley. I understand that one. Y'all know I'm going to get back to the comments later. Just go with the flow when I respond back. YT, it take me a minute to get back to the comments, but I'm going to get back to them, though, baby. Merry Christmas to y'all. We're going to go ahead. We're going to... You do? Woo! Y'all, hey, if y'all ain't got to get to them, but baby, I know that's right. They got tablets and stuff in the jail already because one of the inmates is on the line. Can we get a word? Can we get a word? Can we get a word from the county? Can we get a word from the county? I see one on the line. They got tired of watching. They had to come on in the room. Come on up in here. Because they already want to hurt me. Oh, they do got tablets? Well, come on up in here. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't sleep. They ain't decorating no Christmas tree up there. I know they ain't doing none of that. Come on up in here. Y'all want to tell us, can we bring them on the live? Can we bring them in on the live? Can we bring them in on the live? They in the room. They in the room. I'm just trying to see if they want to say something in the room. Let me go back up here and see. I thought that was Berta that clicked in. Come on up in here. Come on in the room. So y'all get y'all last little sip of tea because I got a whole list of y'all I got to block tonight. I will be posting that list too. I got a whole list on the block list. They getting a lump of coal because Santa won't be no ho 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 tonight for their ass. Hello. Won't be no ho 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 for them tonight. I don't think they want to. Kendra, I don't think it said Berta. I don't think they want to talk. They might be then exited up out the room. Do he got on the jail uniform? They don't want to talk to us, I guess. Come on up in here. She was the first one to call you, and I had mad respect. They don't have Facebook on the tablets unless someone rigs them. Oh, they getting a lump of coal. They getting a lump of coal. They getting a lump. They getting a lump. We're going to go ahead and talk about that hot mess that happened in court yesterday. If y'all ain't watched the live, y'all need to watch the live, okay? If y'all ain't watched it, I'm telling you. What's that lady's name? Because I got to remember this lady's name, y'all. Hold on now. Hold on. Hilbert. That was her name. Allison Hilbert. That was her name, y'all. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, y'all better not never get her for an attorney. I'm telling you, Hilbert was horrible in court. If y'all go back and watch my live from yesterday, live in court, she was lying to the judge. She was lying to the judge. Yesterday we went in court for a pre-trial hearing in the murder trial of Wyllyam James Sheffey for Atterberry. That's Aviante Atterberry. That's who we was in court for yesterday. And it was a shit show. It was horrible. It was horrible, y'all. It was horrible. The lawyer did not have herself together and got caught up in several lies. Her body language and everything told it that she was lying. Oh no. I don't know who paying her, but they need to stop. They need to stop. We're going to go ahead and jump over here to Atterberry's case. Now we done talked about Solomon, who been moved to protective custody out to Geauga County Jail. And it comes to me that Tameka Montgomery has checked into protective custody too. I don't know how true that one is, but we will find out if she is in protective custody. Somebody make sure y'all keeping up with the news that's going on right now so I know what's going on, because it's going to be a lot of drunk drivers tonight. Okay? Hilbert was horrible. Horrible. Atterberry should have just went ahead and went upside her head. That's when the defendants need to just go on ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see them cases on court TV where the defendant jump on their attorney. I see why. That was a prime example for him to go ahead and, you know, yeah, I see why they do it. I see why they do it. So, I'm going to catch y'all up on Atterberry. For those of y'all that's just coming in that don't know about Atterberry, forgot about Atterberry, hold on. We can't get to that part right there yet. They jumping off up into the fire right there off the gate. Hold on. Hold on. Right there. Atterberry is one of the 7 that's included in this murder case. He was the one that was on TV with his hand wrapped up. I believe he took a bullet to the hand. This is all so simple. They making it so slow. Never had attention like this. Give him all the death penalty. YT, you feel like they should have the death penalty? Back bigger than the side of my shed. Wow. Wow. She said his back bigger than the side of her shed. Melissa, you off the chain. You is off the chain, girl. We on here. Hold on. This all the witness list right here. Hold on. Let me get that out the way. It's the discovery. We got the discovery. We got man, the attorney has tried everything in her power to stop Aviante's case. But that mess she pulled will, yes. I don't believe this is a death penalty case because they're going to be lenient. You know, they still feel like these murderers got rights. And it's crazy how they still got rights. That's what I don't understand. So Atterberry is charged with aggravated murder, kidnapping. He got a slew of charges, y'all. He got a slew of charges. We know he ain't coming home no time soon. We're gonna go over. We're gonna go over. We ain't gonna go over the witness list yet because he still got to go to court. His list, he still got to go to court. Tameka, she through. She just got to go for sentencing, so we could have went over her list. Yeah, we're going to put that over there. But we can talk about what was in the discovery. So first, she had a motion for an order for the prosecuting attorney to reveal any informants' names, addresses, and agreements made between the state and the informant and or witness. That's what she wanted. She wanted the name of any informant, confidential informant, or confidential operative, their address, and the contact information. The existence, substance, and matter of execution of fulfillment, any promises, agreements, understandings, or arrangements, both verbal and written, between the state and any prosecution witness or any attorney, representative, including informant, co-informants, and unindicated co-conspirators, whether or not such informants' identities are currently being classified as confidential by the state, whereas the state has agreed not to prosecute such witnesses for any crime or crimes or to seek lineage and or any preferential treatment for such witness in exchange for their testimony, assistance in any matter whosoever in this case. The lawyer that messed all that up, she ain't gonna get none of that now. She ain't getting ready to get none of that. You done messed up because you're a liar. This lady stood up in the court and told the judge she didn't know if she was contacting that witness or not, because she calls everybody back. But where the judge tricked her up at, where the judge tripped her up at is, it was the text messaging. How you don't know who you texting back? That's where she went wrong at. She was up there with all the body language. She had the hands shaking. Your Honor, I didn't know. You're lying. Because my man's over here in the jury box got up and said, you did this. You talked to the man's mom, the witness mama and the witness. Okay? Stop lying, Allison. You're a liar, not a lawyer. You're not a good lying ass lawyer. No. You need to be disbarred. That's what you need to be. Because now you know too much information. How they going to get somebody else on this case? You know too much. Now you can talk to one of the state's witnesses and your defendant. What was your defendant? Or soon to be was. So she won that part of the case. They had to give up the names, the testimony, any of that because of DeMarco versus the United States. A defendant's trial is set for February 17th. Defendant requests to be made aware of any threats, favorable treatment, offers of deal, expression, or implied lineage and preferential treatment extended to or any confidential informants, witness, co-defendants, and their counsel in exchange for participation in a profiter of as witness. Defendant respectfully requests that this court grant the motion. She got that part. I don't see how. She said, I hereby certify on December 5th a true and correct copy of foregoing was served upon the Lake County prosecution. Allison Hilbert. You're telling a lie because in court they said on December 4th she was talking to the witness. So how on December 5th you come up in here talking about this is all true? You lied right here because in court you testified the prosecutor testified that December 4th she had contact with that boy. Okay? Why he even contacting a lawyer if he's a state witness makes no sense. There's a little twist to that right there. We can't reveal that part right now. It's a little twist to that right there. Are all the mothers still in jail too? Yeah, as far as I know they is, but one had to go to the hospital yesterday and one checked in the protective custody. Allison need to sit down. She need to be disbarred. So, at the end of that, and all of that mess yesterday, this is what we got, y'all. This is what they came back with yesterday after everything was said and done and pretty much the court's about closed. Oh, she getting paid. She getting paid whether she sink him or not. She definitely getting paid. The state is paying her. She's being paid by the state right now as a paid attorney, as a public defender, but the state paying her. So, yesterday, after everybody left, after the hearing and everything, this is what the judge came back with. Because the state feel like she shouldn't be on the case. She know too much. She done talked to both parties. She had ethical clauses. She done broke the ethical codes. Which she did. She did do that. She definitely did do that. So, Judge Jeffrey Ripple came back and said on December 23rd, 2025, the court conducted an oral on-the-record hearing attended by counsel for all parties to consider whether defense counsel Allison Hilbert should be disqualified from representing the defendant in this instant matter. Attorney Daniel Wyllyam was appointed to represent the interests of the alleged victim and or government witness, Jeffrey Lee, who is identified in count 50 of the indictment filed in this case. Trial courts have an independent interest in ensuring the criminal trials are conducted within the ethical standards of the profession of the legal proceedings appear fair to all whom observe them. State versus Hackney, 2021, Ohio. That's quoting the United States versus Gonzalez Lopez. Wheat versus United States. They doing all this case law to show y'all whatever. We don't need to know all of that. So, Rule 1.7 addresses the attorney's conflict of interest. It states conflict of interest, current client, a lawyer acceptance and continuation of representation of a client creates a conflict of interest if either of the following applies. The representation of the client will be directly adverse to another client, current client. There is a substantial risk that the lawyer's ability to consider, recommending, or carry on out an appropriate course action for the client will be limited by the lawyer's responsibility to another client or former client or a third party person or by the lawyer's own personal interest. What you say, Melissa? You know I cannot be reading what you saying right now. Just admit y'all been weirdos and bullies all y'all life. It caught up to you. You let your children try to do it. It didn't work out. Now everybody got to go down smoking, period. You about told facts right there, Melissa. You about told facts right there. Part B, a lawyer shall not accept or continue the representation of a client if a conflict of interest would create division of this rule unless all of the following apply. The lawyer will be able to provide competent and diligent representation to each affected client. 2. The affected client gives informed consent confirmed in writing. 3. The representation is not precluded by division of this rule. C. Even if each affected client consents, the lawyer shall not accept or continue the representation if either of the following applies. Y'all know I can't be reading these comments. The representation is prohibited by law. The representation would involve a claim by one client against another client represented by the lawyer in the same proceeding. So, let's get to what the judge decided. Therefore ordered that Allison Hibbert is removed as counsel for the defendant, Aviante Atterberry. The court hereby appoints counsel Maxwell Martin as new counsel for Aviante Atterberry. It is so ordered. She's out of there. She's out of there. Now, what that means, the case is going to be pushed back again. Because now this new lawyer got to get acquainted with the case, got to go over the evidence, got to talk to his client. It's going to be a whole mess, y'all. It's still going to be a whole mess. So that's what y'all got right there in case talk, y'all. 3 clients, three inmates down, 2 in protective custody. 1 went to the hospital. Let's see what they got. We're not going to go over his witness list yet because he got to go to court. But boy, when I tell you, let's look at his list right here. He got 2 witness lists, 1 with 11 on it. One with 11. This one go all the way up to. This one go all the way up to 85. So he got 85 on this one. So he got a total of 96 witnesses on his case. $96 witnesses. Let's see what they got on his evidence so far. Look like pretty much the same stuff that they got from the other ones. The Verizon records, the iClouds, the subpoenas to Shelby, the Chardon Police dash cam, Aviante's Instagram, Avion's Instagram, Snapchat, medical records, Euclid medical records. Damn, they was all over. The Cuyahoga medical examiner, the Ring doorbell. They got prison calls. They got Lake County jail messages to Willie Grimes, Keyshawn, Harris County Jail. They got motel and hotel documents. They was at the motel and the hotel. Motel, hotel, holiday, somebody was paying for this stuff. We ain't gonna reveal her right now. We gonna wait on her and see if she get on the stand. We gonna wait on her. 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 Y'all already know. We gonna wait on her. Cause I know she ain't have nothing to do with this. I already know. That's what she gonna get up there and say anyway. I don't know who the hell Zevarelli is. Hmm. Somebody wrote a statement on this one. Atterberry surgery. They got the text messages to the AAA people, the AAA paperwork, screenshots from Aviante, the photo lineup. They got the photo lineup, y'all. They got all their DNAs. And they got a lot of phone extractions, a lot of screenshots, a lot of Instagram, Facebook accounts. Boy, y'all better get it. Boy, y'all be on there talking mess. Just like that crazy ass girl got on here threatening me the other day. Girl, bye. She went back on there and deleted all that stuff. Too bad I got it all screenshotted. You threw. I don't care if you delete it or not. It's still there. You see what happened with these dummies right here. Dumb. Dumb. The difference in the case is simple. If it would have been him, they killed one of their sons, they would be out here screaming to put him down in prison for the rest of his life. And he would have, damn. Hold on. He would have been out there screaming, did his time. Based upon the facts, they've been fighting since children. They've been arguing since teenagers, and they've been an issue. However, you mix jealousy, you mix envy, and you mix hatred, and you get ugly. And it gets all bad. I personally went through and read all of Will IG messages between them. They didn't have the same type of money. They didn't have the same type of lifestyle. Never gonna say he was innocent. But what I will say, hold on. But what I will say is you don't come to him and hit the square one. You came to him and took him out in a vicious type of way. So the same way that his mother is hurting, all of us mothers hurt with her, and I stand with her. Period. At the end of the day, the only person that judges us is God. We can go back and forth on this post all day, but God knows. You got that right. You got that right. I don't know. They might need to go up under right there, y'all. We got we got three right here. We got one in protective custody in Geauga County, supposedly, allegedly, one in protective custody then checked in themselves voluntarily, and one that need to go to the hospital, supposedly, somebody say up here, for mental evaluation, change in mental status. So, I don't know if she want to take herself out. I don't know why now. You got it made easy. Go on up in there and get you 3 hots in the cot. and you might get you a little job at 15 cents an hour, and make life do what it do. You know, be on that concrete till you can't take it no more. Till you go to Columbus to the state hospital. Wow, that's what I got for y'all on Case Talk. Do anybody got any questions or concerns in the case so far? We will be in court next week, January 5th. No, week after next. We'll be in court week after next, January 5th, for jury selection for Solomon Gaston. It's supposed to last a day and a half. Trial will start January 7th. And now that Tameka ain't going to court January 6th, I believe somebody else's trial is starting at that same time in another courtroom. That's about how much they pay. You ain't even getting $1 in prison. That's about how much they pay. And if you owe child support, you ain't getting that. They taking your state pay if you owe child support. So, that's what I got for y'all on this good Christmas day. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas. I hope that the justice that we're searching for is served. You know, we want justice. We shall get justice. I just hope it's the justice that we're all seeking, and that these parents get the justice that they deserve. Yes, the moms do have other kids. Both moms have left. One mom, yeah, both of them left 2 kids out here. They both have left 2 kids, I believe. Berta got 2 other kids, and Keisha got 2 other kids. And I don't know, I don't know if Tameka's kids is grown, all of them are grown, but one of Berta's is not grown, and one of Keisha's is not grown. Not only did they encourage their kids to take another man's life, they were there. They participated. I don't know where the father's is, but my brother is one of them, and he with his other kids. This he on his 3rd set of kids. So him and this boy ain't, him and his son in this case ain't never really, my brother went down for did 16 years and was gone out this boy's life. If the boy was 16 before my brother even came home. So he definitely didn't have no daddy in his life. And I don't know about the grandpa, if the grandpa was in his life or not. But it was a bunch of poison that was fed to these kids, though, through the evilness and the hatefulness of adults that was passed down generations. I will say that. I will say that. No, my brother don't get a pass because he was gone, because he still had time to get it together when he came home, but they just never got it together. Now he on another set of kids. Thank you, Colleen. It's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot. A lot of people don't think that it's a lot for me because of the way I act, the way I present the case. But once I'm done and come back home or sit back and think about it, it's just, I have to go with the flow, with the punches. I got to take all the criticism, all the good and the bad. There's more bad than it is good, but I'm doing this because Will's story deserves to be out there. This did not have to be, and it did not take all of them to do this. That's simple as it is. No, Will wasn't innocent by any means, but he was human, and it just did not take all of that. And right is just right, and wrong just wrong. Simple as that. I mean, what else can I say? I'm sorry that it happened, that he was involved, period. That Will's life is gone, period. But I can't fault myself for my nephew's upbringing because people have tried to intervene in the poison. The poison. And I don't even understand how Berta is involved in this because she literally tried, I will say, well, from what I've seen, she did try. She went to the school, she went to the police, she say she went to the parents. People can go to people in the wrong matter, and then boom, whatever you trying to say go out one ear. They ain't even trying to hear you if you didn't approach right, communicate right. They're not trying to hear that. But for you to get involved after you done went and tried to rectify the situation or even be present during the situation was just flabbergasted to me. Now, Keisha, I had no doubt in my mind that she would participate. Why did this even happen? This all started in 7th grade. Everything with these kids, it started in 7th grade. The mother told us that it just went from 7th grade to junior high through high school to adulthood. And they just never got right. Like it started with simple slap boxing and fighting, and it graduated to guns and chasing each other in cars. It just got out of hand. Like, I don't know. Now they up at the jail, they want to blame the Painesville Police Department for not doing nothing. For not, being more proactive in the situation. That's how the mothers and stuff up at the jail is perceiving it from, all the chatter and talk that they doing to the walls and through the walls. Let's keep it a buck. They're sisters and didn't even like each other. So come on, man. They definitely had their fallouts and fights over the years. Yes, they have. They have fell out more than a little bit. It's a shame that they all are in the position they're in. And I'm sure if the kids actually sat down and figured out a mutual situation, probably wouldn't be as heated. Merry Christmas, Little Kim. Listen, it's very sad that they're in the situation that they're in. But when you are pumped and primed by poison and adults that are filling you with poison to go ahead and do something as heinous as this, you're going to go and do it because you're trying to fulfill what your parents want you to do. That's evil. That's evil. You know how these parents are that pump and prime their kids to go do wrong. Pump and prime their kids to go do wrong, and once they do wrong, then it's too late. It's too late. You can't take it back. They can't take this back if they wanted to take it back. They can't bring Will back. None of that. They can't take it back. It's too late. I just hope that they get the rehabilitation that they need while they in there. The counseling, the mental, all of that. They need all of that, the medication, the counseling, all of that. They're going to need all of that while they in there. Because they never got it while they was out here. So, and hopefully being separated and segregated away from the poison, they can realize and start seeing for themselves just how caught up in the web they were. We all want to please our parents, but we all know right from wrong. It's definitely sad, but at the end of the day, one raising their kids, and she definitely reached out in the situation to the police and to whoever, and the other one was too busy chasing another man who already has a wife. But at the end of the day, got wrapped up but the outcome is what it is. You can't take it back. You sure got that right. And that's what I be talking about, these women that's out here in these streets that's just out here dick hunting and chasing these men and don't have time for their kids. That's crazy. Like, who does that? You put this man before your kids. I went to the superintendent to have a parent meeting, and they said they didn't have enough security to control the parents. They knew it wasn't going to go well because the poisonous side don't know how to communicate. You got that right. So the moms destroyed their own kids' lives. Wow, that's sad, girl. I can't imagine. That's exactly what happened, Colleen. Poison was fed for years, years, years. If y'all just seen the other day where the family member went on there and said what she said, that we ain't family, they don't claim you, none of that, that's part of the poison that I'm talking about. They don't have to never claim me, but they know that my blood run through their veins. Their last name is my last name. They not gangs. Them kids is Jacksons. They not gangs. Okay? They're Jacksons. Whether by blood or just by name. You know? That's what I'm going to say. They did this. They definitely did this. And it's sad. It's sad, sad, sad. And now they want to be crazy, want to check in protective custody, want to go to the hospital, got to have mental evaluations. All that should have been done before you got to, you wouldn't probably be where you at if you had went and voluntarily got your mental together. Y'all could have had family counseling. But when you want to be the bully and portray yourself as the bully and you have kids that are not of that spectrum and you try to force it in them, the outcome ain't going to be cute. The outcome ain't going to be cute because them girls was bullies. I heard about them my whole life while I was in Asheville. I've had so many females come forward saying how they tortured their life. And it was sad. It's sad that this many, I'm out of fingers. I've had at least 17 females tell me how their life was tortured by them too. They glad they in jail. They happy they in jail. They hope they never get out because they tortured their life through elementary to high school. But then when you turn around and have kids that are not like that, I don't think they know how to take it. And then they try to force their behaviors on their children. No, your kids are not like that. Actually, Berta has some teddy bears. She actually has some teddy bears, some genuine, nice, respectful kids. I don't know what happened other than the poison. If she would have mental evaluation 30 years ago, when we were in our 20s, her children, our child might not be where they are today. Proud, but she was too busy bullying people. I know she can fight. Let's just hope she fights all the way through. However, many years she about to get. Well, she ain't gonna have no choice. She gonna have to fight through that time or let that time do her. You got to fight. You got to, in prison, it's a whole nother situation. You gonna have to get your mental all the way together before you let that time do you. I just had a friend inside them walls, and he let that time get to him in his mental. He's no longer here with us. Okay? He no longer here with us. So, they better get something together. Because they ain't never coming out for a long time. Long time. And there's some more going to be going in with them. Some more gonna be going in with them. Bottom line is they never have to see or right now know what it's like to close a casket on the child. And at the end of the day, that tough stuff break them down in something unimaginable. My friend closed the casket. My friend closed the casket on her child, so therefore I have zero understanding on how you could think anybody feels any more remorse for you or yours. Tracy says she can't fight. All she ever has done is ever run her mouth. Tracy, you off the hook. You definitely about telling the truth. Berta was the muscle. Keisha was the mouth. It's sad, y'all. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. But Tiffany is going to make sure, and we going to make sure right there behind her, that everybody get what they got coming to them. We going to be on the state. Why you ain't got this one? Why you ain't got that one? Why you ain't got this one? Why you ain't got that one? Don't offer nobody immunity for their testimony. We're not taking it. We're not taking your immunity. We don't give a damn about your testimony because you didn't bring it forth before. We needed your testimony. That's where I'm at. I don't even want to hear your testimony. You didn't tell it before it happened. Keep it in your cell with you when you get ready to go. It's definitely a sad day. It was definitely a sad day in history, June 7th, when they did what they did, knowing that the whole family was getting ready to go to prison. That was a sad day. And to let the youth of the community see what y'all had did. That's what's crazy. And everybody in the community know everybody. So it was like, wow. Wow. You know? One was definitely a wow. The other one I was like, I knew. You know. But these other arrests that's to come, we waiting. We waiting. We waiting. But that's what I got in the wrap up for y'all tonight. I know it's Christmas. I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. Anybody got any questions, concerns, statements? I want to say Merry Christmas. I want to say thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to say justice for Will. Long live Will, forever 20. Tiffany, we praying for you during this holiday season and family. And we rallying right behind you. We're going to be there every step of the way. This is Big Ed with your hood news and your case talk. If anybody got any questions or concerns, other than that, I'm going to say Merry Christmas. Y'all be blessed. Y'all know I'm an empty nester, so it's just me home. But if y'all cooking a meal, shout out Hood News. I'll come pick up a plate. Thank y'all for tuning in. I will be keeping y'all updated. You got that right, Tiffany. Justice for Will. Let's all say it one time tonight. Justice for Will, baby. We gonna get it. Merry Christmas, everybody. Tiffany, make the best of it if you can, boo. I understand. Y'all be blessed. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and any more updates come along. Somebody said he got transferred for his own safety. We got 2 in protective custody, I'm hearing. 1 moved to Geauga and 1 voluntarily checked in. Tameka is supposedly is in protective custody too. Oh, did you? We got to talk, boo. We got to talk. But this is Big Ed with your hood news, and I'm out here in these streets. And y'all remember tomorrow, y'all remember Tiffany, and remember justice for Will. Peace, love, and hair grease.